Hi, I'm high. And so I thought I would do what will be the Halloween episode. I think I'm going to change into episodes now instead of chapters because it could go on for 200. You can only read listen to 200 chapters. But episode sounds, you know what I'm saying? Add some, it doesn't seem so much like I have to read this. You know what I'm saying? Did that come out making any sense whatsoever? Anyway, and so that's why, well, first of all, I love the song. And it has kind of a spooky, and it was part of my, I had CD. I may have had the 45, I mean, not the 45, um, the tape first. I may have had the tape, perhaps, and the CD. But I was in my car a lot driving to and from school in high school. And just driving around. Remember Rudo Uno, which is in the episode before. See, I'm getting good at saying episode. Anyway, that's why I chose, one reason I chose Spirits of the Material World by the Police as my episode title. Like I said, I owned that album in whatever tape form, perhaps CD form. And I used to listen to it all the time, and it has a kind of icky, spooky, kind of a dark side to it. So I thought that might be a nice choice for Halloween. And without it being too, I almost picked, when I was a kid, Walt Disney had this. I bet if you went like on vintage shops online, you typed in like uh, 70s or 60s Walt Disney Hollywood Halloween Scary Sounds album, and you would find it. I had that, and I used to listen to it all the time. And I'm sure my mother played it when she had kids over for Halloween parties. Give it up for people who do that. That's a lot of work, especially when you're married to your rapist, child abusing husband. That's Alfred Sullivan code. Try to get that in every episode. At least we forget why. A big reason why I'm doing this. But I did enjoy Halloween. Um, so anyway, if you're into like that Disney, it's like whoa, 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 then you hear screams, and it's very like what they would play like in Disney scary movies, or scary scenes. It was I loved it. I loved it because it was kind of scary hearing that. I mean, and sawing. Oh man, that's a classic. I may have to get that again. Should I ever get my modest ranch house? I could decorate it vintagey, not too cluttery, but as much like DIY or Goodwill or whatever, or vintage. And I gotta play that. Oh, it takes me back. But I don't know. It's kind of a mood, because it's basically just like sound effects, which is great. But I don't, you know, it's good for one listen, I'd say. A whole listen. Otherwise, save it for, unless you're into it, and that's fine too, because I used to listen to a lot. Anyway, so it was either going to be that, but I think I'm going to go with Police for the album of the week. Um, and what was it again? Oh, Ghost in the Machine, which the title of this episode is in. It's a song from that album, Ghost Machine, which I probably just say I have that album. Well, I think I had the anyway, and it has kind of a darky. Oh God, sorry, that was wrong. Has a dark kind of a mysteriousness to it, and it also happens to have my favorite drummer of all time in it, Stuart Copeland. I Bow to You. And I know there's a big stink between, or I don't know how much of a stink it is, but people are like, Neil Peart, Neil Peart. And I'm not negating his fabulousness as, and rest in peace, um, of his drum skills. But I think he had, what are, like 2 or 3 drum kits together to make his magic, which he was magic at what he did. I mean, very talented at what he did. But anyway, um, but you listen to the Police library, and Stuart Copeland has a small kit, and that's not a euphemism. He plays with his small kit, and that is not a euphemism. Um, he has a really he plays with a small kit, and putting your earbuds or your nice headphones, listen to his drumming. It just boggles the mind. And I know there's John Bonham, um, Brian Jones, whoever was it, Brian Jones. You know. Anyway, I want to focus on Stuart Copeland because, or just keep it at that. Everybody has their favorite, and it's not that I don't adore other drummers as well, but I just find his drumming very like it's sophisticated, and yet they have that kind of reggae sound to it. It just and he's tall and blonde and American, and now he's gray and tall and gray. He may have shrunk a little. No, I am now four. I'm now 5 foot 4.5. They say. So I'm trying to work on my posture. I think it was 5'5". I don't know. It's definitely my posture because I have back issues with my RA, and I had scoliosis apparently when I was younger, and it's hard for me to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to perform. It's hard for me to do like lift weights with my hands because of my RA, and I do have resistance bands. It's just they still hurt my hands. I try to like wrap them around my wrist, but I have a bad wrist too. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's fucked. So I've been trying to do like isometric to exercises that don't require weights, like old school isometrics, and they have helped. But my back is just I have degenerative disc disease too, and it's a mess back there. But I'm trying. Like I'm standing more at work because first the chairs fit. I think they're made for one body type, and I am not that body type because they're like they give me such back pain that and since I've begun standing uh, when I need to at work, um, I don't have nearly as much back pain as I used to. Seriously, it has evaporated. So it was the chair, and I'm yeah, I the way I sit in the chair because it's just not. It's made for one height. You know what I'm saying? You don't match all that little back curvy stuff. Your fault. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that. But and then okay, so Stuart Copeland. I don't have to fight. Perfectly justified. Number one drummer pick. No shame. You're not gonna. And there are many, many, but he's my favorite. Like I said, he's my type. Blonde hair, not very tall. Um, and plus, he's an incredible drummer. And drummers get me off too. Musicians in general, really, they all have their areas. And then I guess that comes to Halloween movie of the week. I should say film too. And gosh, I don't watch a lot of. I definitely don't watch a lot of horror, especially as I've just gotten older. I feel like life is horrible. It is. I don't need. I guess psychological drama can be is not quite the same, but I I just watch more like European stuff, so just I don't know, uh, or just international films, foreign films, just for something different. I just kind of need a break from like the American made stuff in that respect. But um, I think I had to go with. I picked some good ones. They had to be. They had to be. I almost put Donnie Darko in there, but I've never seen it, but I've heard wonderful things about. Except that he wears like a rabbit costume, and that's gonna mess with my Ralphie and his pink bunny uh, pajamas from A Christmas Story. I can't have that. Can't have that. So I probably will never watch Donnie Darko, even though I've heard it's very good. But I think I'm gonna have to go with the original Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. It's very well done. She's very convincing. Uh, the music. Can we talk about the score to that film? It is some of the best, movie scores ever. Um, so not even. I mean, just it's. If you want a true scary movie, Halloween, and it's a friggin' Halloween, and nothing better than see Halloween. It's classic. The 70s and 80s put out good, like horror. Late 70s, because I had and you could even go before that. Well, there's Carrie too. I've seen Carrie more than once. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch people being bullied to the level that they bullied her. Of course, it's her mother too, I think, and it's sadistic and extremely damaging, and has serious consequences if you have seen the film. So I've seen it. I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, it's it's an incredible film, but you know, people say she justified for doing what she did. Yeah, with revenge. Avenging her bullies. And I'm a nonviolent. I'm a person of peace, a person of nonviolence. Um, but there's also a case of that being reactive abuse, which that wasn't a term that was around back in 1976 when Carrie came out. But Sissy Spacek was amazing. Oh God, the mother. I wish I could remember her name. She's a wonderful actor. Well, I just have to Google it or whatever they do nowadays. or just ask Alexa, or Google. Uh, it came to me for a second, but not last. But anyway, but then if you're a like I'm now in this kind of era, practical magic. It's kind of witchy, Gilmore Girlies to me. Um, Now apparently everyone was like hot for like Nicole Kidman's uh, wardrobe in that film, but I loved Sandra Bullock's outfits in that film. That's a big reason. I love that film. That Lily of the Valley dress she wears. I want that dress. I will always want that dress. And I think she wears eyelets. I don't know. It's just, and the house, and then of course Dr. Channing's in it. And yes, Diane Reese is in it, and she's amazing too. But Dr. Channing gives a really great line, which I won't say because you haven't seen it yet. But, and if you have seen it, you know what line I'm talking about. And it's, it's a beautiful the Bogart, some drag, lingo, or not lingo, language. I don't want to minimize it in any way, or minimize it. Minimize? I think that's good. Or, you know. Anyway, yeah, I dug her wardrobe over. Maybe that's why I was always, for some reason, I cannot fully embrace Nicole Kidman. I don't know why. I don't know why. Sandra Bullock, yes. I don't know if it's just because she seems more like lifelike to me. She seems more real to me. I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't. It's just my. That's just my whatever. I guess certain. It's all arbitrary, I'm sure, or maybe it has some meaning. I have no idea. But I've never been a big Nicole Kidman fan, even though I've seen her in a few things. Including the practical magic. But I was, and I'm sure she was really good in it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have liked, they were all good in it. But I really coveted Sandra Bullock's wardrobe in that film. And I would love to find that dress vintage, or someday learn how to. Nah, I don't think I'm going to have a chance to. I don't have a place to put a sewing machine anyway. Oh, I would love to. I mean, I guess I could always go somewhere, but of course, I have rheumatoid arthritis, and working full time with that, it's very hard to do shit after work. Do anything really, except on really special occasions. I did score a new rheumatologist appointment. Uh, I got on the waiting list because the next available appointment was in February of next year. Yes. But I got on a wait list with all of the doctors, and I got an email saying they had an earlier appointment, a much earlier appointment, and would I like it? And I went, yes. So now I have to start a whole new relationship with, I don't even know if this is a man or a woman. And, I prefer female doctors, but I'm taking this appointment because I have to have my nose. I had gone 6 weeks without methotrexate, which is what my Recevo. It's not sponsored. I don't want them to sponsor me. Pharmaceutical companies, but of course, this drug saves my life, and I think it does. The only thing that mitigates the damage it does to my body is the foods I eat and the lifestyle. And I which is, let's just say it's simplified, simple, and I try to make it as calm, but also, anyway, I'm getting off track. But yeah. But then, because life is shit, and life for most people has been shit as long as people have been around. I'm not trying to diminish at all what is going on right now. Just to give perspective that in the 60s they assassinated both JFK and RFK, and then Martin Luther King was assassinated. Well, was Malcolm X assassinated back then too? I mean, you can't gloss over that either. Yes, things are very, very bad. And as I say, I deeply believe in um, really having boundaries with the news you watch and from whom you get your news, from where you get your news, and who's behind it, who's behind the wares. That's all. And then make sure you have. I do walking meditation every day. Well, I do it at work too sometimes. But like if I walk to work, or where I'm walking, whenever I'm walking outside, I do the ascending. I I count 1 to 10, and then 10 to 1, and 1 to 10. So ascending, descending, and I find that helps me. I ruminate a lot. It's really hard day after day to walk. It's a nightmare. It's like Halloween is nothing compared to it. I walk by homeless people, homeless dogs, homeless children all day long. Well, every day. And it really, it breaks my heart every time. And I'm overwhelmed with not so much disbelief, because at this point, how can you not believe that we're in where we are right now, and that we have more people really than ever living. There didn't used to be a homelessness issue, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video, until Reagan, before homelessness became, a serious issue in the U.S. And I remember, like I said, I was younger, I was in my teens, but pretty engaged considering where I lived. I lived in the DC metropolitan area. And news, we watched the news in our family. And the DC news and Baltimore news tended to be, of course, there was the DC news is kind of snooty compared to the Baltimore news, but they were trustworthy, local news back then, it seemed. And of course, the national news did too, and the national paper, in the DC paper, the Washington Post, we got that every day. We got that paper every day. And my dad used to read it at the table because he would always usually finish his meal before us, because, like I said, he didn't partake of a lot of seasonings, including salt, pepper, or any herb or spice, or yeah. And so basically steamed or poached everything. I think we got tartar sauce. Yeah. So I think that's why cinnamon went 321. You're silly. And she was an indoor-outdoor cat her whole life, and the last part of her life in D.C. as an indoor-outdoor cat. And she would be 21. I think it's because she ate so much of the poached cod with the bones still in, and steamed kale from the garden, which was probably sprayed with what was that one? What was it called again? Whatever. Terrible chemicals. Can't remember what it was called now. But I had mentioned it before. But anyway, apparently it wasn't enough to take down cinnamon. Maybe she was, what a beautiful cat she was. She and Calico both. I don't know if they were from the same litter or not. But I got two calicos. But cinnamon, of course, looked more tigerish. So I guess maybe not so much calico. But calico was a calico. So it's very original name. But actually, it's a very sweet name. In every way, shape, and form. Calicos are just lovely. All of the animals I've shared my life with have been stellar citizens of this world. A heck of a lot more reliable for unconditional love than most humans in my life. Not all. A very small list. But then I thought there's also older, like the 40s and before, like Frankenstein, watch like the original Frankenstein, or you could go and do the funny Frankenstein with, you know, anyway, Frankenstein. I think it would be cool to watch the original, or one of the originals, Frankenstein. Oh, scene between the Bride of Frankenstein. Is she in the first one, or is she in the one that's actually called Bride of Frankenstein? I don't remember. But it's good. But I'm adding too many things. But I thought also, like, if you wanted something more funny, but also Arsenic and Old Lace, that's 1944. It's probably streaming somewhere. But you can never go wrong with It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. 1966. Year my sister was born. And it's a wonderful show. It's a wonderful show. You can't go wrong with It's Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Because things are rough. And I know, like I said, I know it's everywhere. It's affecting everyone everywhere. But there's just so many people here that it's amplified in my mind, and it affects me. It breaks my heart. And I just feel like I can never, that I'm doing nothing, and nobody's doing anything, and why is that? why is this even an issue? Why do we have this issue in New York City? Except there must be rampant corruption. I mean, New York City's got to be one of the most corrupt cities in the country, right? It's got to be pretty high up there, I would assume. I mean, just look at our MTA system. Where did all the money go? It could have updated. What is it? 110 years old, something like that. It's just unreal. I saw some wonderful photographer took a photo of my train station from like 19. It was in black and white, so it's like timeless, but I think it was like the 80s. and one of the ugly pillars, rust-colored pillars there, with the sign and station sign on there. And there's some probably 60-year-old something. He's got a hat on and like a ring, like a men's raincoat, or a, you know what I mean, like tan color. I'm doing it too much. Anyway, he's like this. The filler, just like, and I'm thinking, nothing's changed. That's still the vibe down there, and it's worse. Um, it was cleaner, maybe a little bit, but no, not really. It had that, and it wasn't just a black and white photo. It had that grungy, you know, people have died down here. People have OD'd down here. People have lost limbs on the train. You know what I'm saying? Shit gets real down there still. And yet, well, like I said, I'm trying to take the train less because if the person running for mayor that I am voting for, whom I'm voting for mayor in 2025, he's able to get the free, expansive bus service, I will start taking the bus. It'll take a little bit longer, but it'll be free. And I won't be paying, what do I pay? This is scary. If I took the train both ways, 5 days a week, for the, I can't remember what the month is, but the yearly amount is over $1,500. You know, that's another month's rent. To take the, the, the better, what this city should have is, and that is a stellar, uh, and for some reason somebody told me at work, like, it's considered the best in the US, which, that's insane. Maybe they just mean because of its, how far it goes or whatever, but it is, it's not my idea of best. And I just feel like, and I read somewhere like our, our fares are only like 10% of their budget. I don't know. All I know is, then why, if it's only 10% of the budget, then why do you keep raising it? If it, you know what I'm saying? Shouldn't you be, whatever. They should be doing a lot of things differently, I think. And I get money, like I said this in the last video, money just is being mismanaged. It's going to the wrong people for the wrong reasons. Is, is what I mean, we're just we're in a period of time. It's like unprecedented for me because I have not lived through a dictatorship before. And I mean, reading about it and watching films and documentaries about it is horrifying enough, but to actually, in real time, see it happening, it, nothing more Halloween than that. Oh, but I don't want to wreck Halloween. But there's nothing scary than that. So that, but don't watch the news. Watch something that's something, escape is scary, which actually a lot of times does have deeper meanings. A lot of times about women's rights and capitalism. A lot of that shit goes deep. Good director, good story. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So, can't go wrong with that. It was funny because I was listening to my music as I do. I listen to my soundtrack. Does anybody ever listen to my soundtrack? I just wondered. Or if you ever took two gummies while you watched me because I bet I would make a lot more sense if you and I too. I'm just putting it out there. Oh, and did I tell you before I got this? I think my last video. They they are selling these at Housing Works cannabis again. I have it upside down because they work really well. I took it tonight, and it's the my favorite Serenity. Yay! I'm so happy. But I also decided to try, and I think I did this in the last video too. And this one, I think I did my last video with these, and these were nice too. A little more subtle, which is nothing wrong with that, especially when you're trying to be creative. I keep going in front of my face. So, yeah. I like this too. So thank you, off hours, even though you don't sponsor me, which is fine. And, and many thanks to Housing Works, an organization that does so much for the city and for the LGBTQIA community and those living with AIDS or HIV and housing. They're putting in the work, and that's why I give them my business. And because I support them, and if I can support them by getting high off their products, then or the products that they sell, I will be more than happy to oblige. They're the only place I go to, and there are tons of them. They're all over the place, and I can't. Much of them has yeah. Plus, they sell some cute stuff on their shop, in their shop, or on their shop, in and on their shop. I'm saying like their online shop, as I'm sure you all know, including one or two items that I would get should I be asked to be at Trixie Akatsu's fall review question. Because yes, I would come there and this. But I think that I would hope they would appreciate the humor and the adoration because I love them both so much. So there's everything on your show. I think, well, I know Katya would not be inviting, but if we did that show with Trixie and me on Gummies with Katya, oh, well, see, I have to do Gummies because that's my shtick. So it's already going to go places I didn't think possible. I really feel that will happen. And it could be TV magic. You just never know. That's the thing. You never know. But I think we share similar energies. Um, we both, well, I mean, I feel like I'm going to get so stopped with even though I'm all the way across the country and I don't stop them. But I love Katya because she gets it. She doesn't buy it. She sees it. She knows. And I love Trixie for, first of all, her earnestness. And I keep hearing that she's not that nice, but she's good. I think she's a very good person. And she's got to be nice. She's nice to people, right? Though I have seen, like, in some, I remember some, I think they were videos where they were like, when they did like the intro before the came on, and I think they had like guest stars on the show, and Katya and the others were like, somebody like messed up or got the timing off or whatever, so they had to start over. And I saw Trixie get like, "Can we fucking do this?" It's like, Oh, that's what they mean. Very little taste. I mean, I get it. I get it. I do because while I meditate a lot more, I do live in a city that's known for being extremely impatient, especially impatient cars with their drivers, with their impatient horns that not only cause traffic and ill and poor air quality in the city and ear pollution. It's loud, and most cars have one person in them. I can't remember what the was saying, but I don't know where I'd go with that. And Trixie, all I can say is Trixie and I both traumatized, right? Uh, while I did not live in the trailer, my sister and my mother lived in what I would consider an inhumane trailer uh, by my father. Left her all day in the searing 70-degree heat with a newborn by her first husband. And so I think that we could share and also laugh through tears too, because I wouldn't have survived if not for two dear friends and movies of that time, just the culture of that time, just the fact that I could leave, we were free to like stay out all day in the summertime. Of course, my dad was at work, so we were like latchkey kids anyway. So we were on our own. He did get a babysitter for us once. Oh, this poor girl. 16, 17, 18, maybe. I'm trying to think, because Jill had to be like 15 or 14. Anyway, all I know is I remember once in our kitchen, she was trying to melt butter on the stove, and she put the butter in a plastic Pyrex um, cup, uh, cup measuring cup, and she put it on the stove to heat it. And of course, the plastic Pyrex measuring cup um, melted through the because we had the grates there. Now the circular grates. Um, so she gets out another. You see where I'm going with this? She gets out another Pyrex plastic uh, measuring cup and puts more butter in it and tries to heat it again, and it melts. Between that and the fact that I think Jill and I were both standing there watching her do it, and I guess just not worried that she wasn't going to burn the house down, and we're just like, what the f is going on? Yeah, right? Which is probably mine, so I get it. Yeah, hi. And I think I have proof of this in the fact that I remember it was the street. Uh, it was the street. Oh God, close to where my two childhood friends lived. It was, and it was a hill going down to the street. Street leveled out, and I wish I could remember the name of the street. But anyway, I remember her. I guess we walked there and met up with. If you, I have a hard time finding a picture of this van, but it was quintessential Boogie Nights 70s like sex band. It was that silver top with the round mirror or round what do they call those windows? Round windows in the back, and then it had a rainbow going across it. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, that is what we were on. And I think the door opened, and she and Jill and I got in, and they were, I don't know if Jill did any, I did not, but I probably got a contact high because I think they were all getting baked in a van in the middle of the street in my neighborhood some summer day. And I think between that and the two butter incident, or the two cup incident, and it took both those things. That's how careful my dad was. It took both of those for him to send her on her way. Not just the one, or she could have burned the house down. And every plastic appliance and or dish or cup we ever had. Um, but that she also took us to some strangers' van, some strangers' boogie nights, 70s. Let's do drugs in this van. Van. It took both those things for him to say, yeah, probably should. Yeah. It's so hard to find a good sitter. And I don't think we ever had a sitter again. We were very much latchkey kids. So we're in like 47 or something. Okay, I'm doing pretty good. And getting off track, but Hollywood. And you know what? When I was talking about this in my head, because I rehearse things in my head, kind of, or I just get like these spurts of dialogue come to me, and I start talking. It's because I pretend I'm talking. I haven't talked about it for a while, so now I'm kind of making up for that. And there's nothing creepy about that. So, what was I going to say? God damn it. The electricity coffee. What is it? 3 or 5? Okay. Yeah, so I did the until I can. I mean, they're also other great films too. I did see The Witch's Wee Flick. I just, after a while, and I love Jack Nicholson. I do, but the stick is getting a little too much for me. That's all I'm gonna say. Even back then, I mean, the women more than made up for it. Stellar cast, and they beat him, which is even better. So I was thinking that Silence of the Lambs, that I've watched it several times, um, because it has the best opening sequence to a film. One of the best openings sequence to a film. Um, the music choice and the girl driving the car, because that was just so. I mean, I think Silence of the Lambs came out in 1991, so I mean that's so like my late teens, early 20s. Cruising, dancing, singing to music, and that song, American Girl. I mean, that's just what she was. She's some American girl. That's just what I was, and my friend, the two of us were. Just these American girls in these cars, just escaping in some way, just getting away from it in the very limited style we could. But it was very, there's just nothing like that. the windows rolled down, and that summer air. I mean, yeah, it was humid, but you were driving and and you're on air conditioned 79, 79 from the horizon hatchback. But it was nighttime too, and we were wearing our summer clothes, and we were fine. Plus, you had to have the window open for the cities, and music, and American Girl just just epitomizes that for me. It has a much worse ending for her. If you haven't seen the film, I won't look it for you, but it's just, and that's also such a thing about being an American girl is you're not safe. You're not safe. We're well into the 21st century, and women are less safe. You know, I'm not going to say that ever because, but we're at the mercy a lot of times. No, every day, 24/7. Because I think I said this in another episode too. Every female friend I've known or had has had, you know, un, you know, unasked for advances and inappropriate behavior and touching, and my mother was raped, and so um, oh, so silence the song American Girl, and just how scary it is to be a girl. It was back then, and it's scary still now. You can't trust anyone. This is coming from someone with a lot of trauma. I have a very hard time trusting, uh, especially men, um, but trusting people. Um, though I'm quite gregarious in my in my chats with friends. Um, I don't know. It's a weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's like I guess because I'm feeling a little lighter now, but am I not happy? I can't because it's that witchy time of the year. I just can have bubbly witches. See, I didn't want to do because I don't think I saw Hocus Pocus. Like I said, I'm not a big Sarah Jessica Parker fan either. And maybe that was part of the reason, or maybe it just seemed to. I remember it got panned pretty universally, and now it's like a cult favorite. And I was just reading about it, and they said the article about it. I I can't remember if it was I guess it was a review of it. Oh no, it was just I was looking up like the best horror films or best scary films, and for that film, um, oh yeah, that it became popular much later than it's. I think it lost like $20 million for the studio, but somehow it was resurrected, and now people love it. In that I can't remember what article it was, but it was like about this the best like I said, the best Halloween films and the best scary films, and they said that shit, am I ever gonna get this out? Oh, they said that they thought it was because I think these women survived on the breaths of newborns or infants, which I'm like, what? I thought, but I mean, the person who wrote the article the opinion piece, yeah, his article about it was like, happy green light that one. So they take the lives of the infants by stealing their breath. That's kind of wacky. I don't know if it has a. I'm probably never gonna watch it. No, it's just not mine. And I love Kathy and Jenny too. And I've loved Bette Midler. But I just, yeah, yeah. I don't do a lot. I may pick up. Trader Joe's has a wonderful sunflower seed cups, and I may treat myself to a bag of those because they're really good. They're better than Reese's Pieces or Reese's peanut butter cups, in my opinion. I've never had the vegan ones, and to me, these taste. I think I think my palate has improved since I've been vegan too, and the really like cheaply made mass. You know what I'm saying? Plus with the animal products or whatever, it does. First of all, it doesn't appeal to me, but it just doesn't taste. I can't imagine it would taste good to me either anymore. Especially because this one tastes so wonderful to me. I mean, to me, it reminded me of a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I don't know what I'm going on about this. But that's about as much as except I will watch. What was the film I chose? Oh God, I may have to go with Charlie Brown because I don't know in this current climate. But you know what? I've been kind of like thinking about watching Practical Magic again, just because I want to see Sandra Bullock's, and then see what the hullabaloo is about Nicole Kidman's, because I always, as you can see, I don't recall hers at all. It might have been a little sexier, maybe. I don't know. I really liked Sandra Bullock's. That Lily of the Valley dress, I want it for something. I really, really do. But yeah, other than that, that's on the 31st. I can't remember if I worked that night or not. Oh, my neighborhood. I'm just gonna go home if I work that night, which I'm sure I do, or work that day, and just hole up with my snacks, which probably won't be anything more than those little sunflower um, chocolate cups, which are so good. Trader Joe's, that's 110%. But I only get the thing, the bag of them, because I know I'm going to eat the entire. I know the individual one is not going to be enough, because that's how rarely I get them, because I have to bunch them. And they are very well priced for this area, or just for food in general. Seriously, at this point, because except that fortunately I eat in such a way that I spend probably on average $40 a week on groceries, maybe 45. Just because here and there, like I have to get a new thing of oatmeal or something, and that's a little higher priced, or you know what I'm saying. But I don't have a lot of high priced items to begin with because I buy a lot of like beans and pasta and greens and veg. I buy a lot of frozen fruits and greens. It's just easier for me with my RA. My RA's been bad this week. I think with changing the weather, this right hand in this has been like this morning. My pinky, and it's a little swollen. It's a little red there still. It feels better than it did, but of course I'm high too, and it does help with the RA pain, as you can see, because I'm not going, ow, 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 as I did this morning when I tried to do that. Oh, but no, it's much, much, even my wrists. Well, my wrist still hurts not, but not as bad. It was sharper. I will do anything to get people on. Now, I have never tried psychedelics. I feel like I would need to do that with a dear, trusted friend under the most above board circumstances. Because I don't know. I don't know if somebody on campus should take like psychedelics, light psychedelics. I almost feel like for me it would have to be like a therapeutic setting, like a professional on hand, just with my trauma and everything. I would want like, very controlled setting. Um, and since that probably is going to cost out of pocket, I can't afford that. So that would probably never happen anyway. And I'm not going to mess with that shit ever. Not that I am not aware that it has shown great promise for people like me with some PTSD and other and mental health issues. I just don't know enough about it. I know nothing about it. But I'm not poo-pooing it. No poo-poo. Oh, I wish I could remember what Trixie said about. See, I miss the girls. I did. I haven't. I did watch Bob's um, appearance on Bald and Beautiful, and they're always very fun. I love when Katya can get Bob crying. I love when he or she can do that to Bob. And when Bob was just like this. Oh, because she was talking about her pussy. Like, I had a pussy, you all. Remember that? Remember that? Oh, that was fun. She's mentioned that before. But it was, Bob's always a great guest. And she asks, you never know what Katya's going to ask you. And they're very open on that show. And that's why I like it. I really I I feel that's courageous. Although it shouldn't be. Telling the truth shouldn't be like courageous. It should be like the norm, right? Not being ashamed of the truth should be the norm. I just had an epiphany. I think I had an epiphany. And it's 102, so I went a little too long. But I'll link down the movies and such below. And now I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I'm going to have another green smoothie. I couldn't have it here earlier. Just had some lemon water. And I can tell my hair and the need to cut my hair soon. I know, it's just, I can, maybe before my friend considers it, but it may have to. I usually only get cut once a year, but I don't know now that it's been short. I don't want to get it long again. It was like down the middle of my back, which I loved in a way, but I have luxurious, thick hair. I can't apologize it because it's just something that's part of me. But, and but I not to minimize anyone's experiences with not having people hair because I know how traumatizing that, or like because I am traumatized by other things. I know that must be traumatizing. Um, because I have dentures too. I mean, I don't have that I have no teeth, which is stigmatizing, and I guess I could be embarrassed about it, but it was due to severe health issues that were unaddressed. Um, and there's no shame in that. There's no shame in losing your teeth at all. No shame at all for any reason, shape, or form. I would like to get some different ones because I've had these for 15 years now. And your gums change. Your mouth evolves after you've had all your teeth and start rolling dentures, and so um, um, I'll say that. But like I said, I don't know what's going with the hair thing. I do have hair. But yeah, it can be a curse too, like I'm saying, just because I don't have the money to get cut as much as I would like. Um, and when it gets too long, it drags. I know it's not really a problem. That's what scrunchies are for. That nobody in New York wears. Okay, let me get my thing here. So, yeah. Happy Halloween, everyone. Peace.